We share your concern regarding the quality and wholesomeness of products available to your family provided by the beef industry in the United States today. Rocky Mountain Natural Cattle Company has been established to fulfill that need, to provide USDA certified all-natural beef delivered directly to your door from our select herds of U.S. cattle. Our mission is to make certain that you and others in your community have the opportunity to purchase the highest quality, natural products you need to provide healthy protein without additives such as hormones, antibiotics, steroids, or other chemicals that could bring you harm. We are committed to providing natural beef products that are USDA certified natural, controlled from conception to consumption. All products are free of additives. Our ranchers, processors, packers are selected based on their proven quality control processes. Every individual animal is produced and processed for Rocky Mountain Natural Cattle Company is tracked at each step and controlled from ranch to your home. As example, our hamburger alone is the highest quality product available, with all of our product coming from certified animals, ensuring that you never receive any products from other sources like dairy or older animal sources. Most commodity beef products stored in local stores today come from finishing feedlots. These animals are raised on small acreages with feedlots brought to auction and processed in bulk lots. The entire process is based on low cost and high quantities with very little attention given to quality control or healthy practices. We are offering you the opportunity to buy our premium USDA certified natural beef in 50-pound mixed boxes delivered to your door. Supplies of our products are limited at our current prices, which you can view on our website at www.RockyMountainNaturalCattleCo.com. We encourage you to compare both quality and price with any retail, wholesale, or internet-based natural beef company to see the value we are offering you at this time. In addition to high-quality, low-price, USDA-certified natural beef, we are offering an additional incentive of a free freezer to store your beef purchase if you act now and agree to continue receiving annual deliveries of at least a half of beef for 3 years. Our independent distributor and your friend who informed you of this opportunity to purchase all natural beef is available to provide answers to all your questions regarding this purchase. We encourage you to take a look at our website and get your order in quickly to ensure prompt delivery in the coming weeks.
I give you a little bit of a background of myself. I was born and raised on a ranch in Oklahoma where we ran commercial cows and 1,000 or 2 feeder cattle on wheat pasture each and every year. I worked for USDA as a market news reporter earlier in my life after graduating from Oklahoma State University with a BS in animal science. Procured fat cattle for Wilson and Company and feeder cattle for clients all across the United States. After that, I exported cattle to foreign countries for 3.5 years. Spent a couple of years in Washington, D.C. and did the national slaughter estimate for USDA. Was instrumental in the development of the American Hereford Association Certified Hereford Beef Program. Run a commercial cow operation in Oregon, 1,000 cows. Owned the Davenport livestock market for a few years. I'm excited about being involved with Rocky Mountain Natural Cattle Company. I am purchasing cattle for the company and their all-natural beef program. The cattle being procured for Rocky Mountain are some of the best genetics that are here in the United States. There'll be a lot of Hereford and Angus and crosses thereof, along with some of the other cattle that are available today that come in the all-natural form. The genetics behind these cattle are known for their genes for tenderness and taste. All U.S. born and raised cattle. The cattle will be fed at some of our leading feedlots all across the country. A good example of that would be North Platte feeders. The cattle are being processed by premium protein products out of Hastings, Nebraska. They are doing the fabrication of the cattle, and the cattle are being shipped in 50-pound boxes of assorted cuts to the consumer. Again, these will be in 50-pound boxes of assorted beef products, all the way from New York steaks, T-bone steaks, roast, right into hamburger. Rocky Mountain Natural Beef is an all-natural product. It does have the approval of USDA as an all-natural product. And what makes a natural product is that the ranchers, the feedlots, and everyone involved in the chain from the day the animal is born until it is processed and delivered to the consumer has to meet the standards of no hormones, no antibiotics, no rumensin, or any of the products that are disqualified from being all natural by USDA. There's another step in the process that Rocky Mountain Natural Beef is also using that is above the standards of many other people in the natural business. And that would be the selection of cattle genetically that have superior eating qualities such as tenderness and juiciness, and those are things that you have to do genetically, and Rocky Mountain Natural Beef will be animals procured throughout the development and the delivery of this product to the consumer. At this time, we are now procuring cattle that meet these standards. Then we have one of the steps that require at the feedlot level that these cattle are all fed a high quality corn product that will add to the flavor and tenderness of this product. If you're not totally satisfied as a consumer of a good, wholesome, nutritious, tender, juicy, all natural product, that guarantee is 100%, or your money back.
Hello, I'm Brad Fry, the owner and founder of Rocky Mountain Natural Cattle Company. Thank you for joining us today. Now, you've already been introduced to our value proposition to our customers. You've heard that we've developed a business that can efficiently provide USDA certified natural beef directly from select producers to consumers at a price that competes favorably with basic, unqualified beef products available today. No doubt at this point, you understand that this is an excellent product that provides a real value to the majority of the population of the United States. You've also heard that we are largely able to accomplish this by utilizing a direct internet sales system through independent franchise owners. Today, I'm here to present to you an opportunity to be one of those franchise owners. This is a chance for you to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. If you're looking for an opportunity to work with a proven team of professionals that have your best interests in heart, then you're in the right place. I very much want for you to be able to succeed. But first of all, let's establish some expectations. Number one, I promised you that I will be very straight with you. I will clearly outline what I believe are some outstanding opportunities available to you. But number two, I will just as clearly outline the challenges that you might face if you were to be successful in working with us. Number three, this is most assuredly not a get-rich-quick program. It will require work and sacrifice. However, it is an opportunity that utilizes some of the most proven business systems in commerce today. I promise to you that we are not trying to convince you of anything. Now, I found out a long time ago that you cannot push a rope, and that the hardest thing to open in the entire world is a closed mind. If you don't need any opportunities for your future, please just turn this program off now. If, however, in the last month you have complained or felt that you have not found the ideal balance between finances available and the time to enjoy it, then it may benefit you to analyze the business principles that I am about to share with you. Now, I suppose it's always prudent to analyze the source before considering any opinions, so please allow me to give a piece of my background. I am an Idaho farm kid, raised in a small town named Grangeville, Idaho. I was the oldest son of 8 children, and Dad made me a 1% partner in our farm when I was in 7th grade. That planted a seed of an entrepreneurial spirit that has grown into a force impossible for me to ignore the rest of my life. I studied engineering at the University of Idaho, and I was a commissioned officer of the United States Air Force through the ROTC program. I was fortunate enough to train as a fighter pilot in an elite NATO training squadron. While in the Air Force, I owned and operated a direct selling business in partnership with several other professionals in the Texas region. That was an incredible experience. While I confess that I only enjoyed somewhat limited success, I did learn lessons about the human spirit and the free market system that have influenced me significantly ever since. And they have been influential in developing this opportunity which we are presenting to you today. I have spent approximately the last 10 years as a corporate pilot flying some of the most successful business people in the world. Now that has been a phenomenal opportunity to observe people who have walked the walk and found the secrets of business success. I have found them to be open and willing to share the lessons that have propelled them to levels of influence that most people cannot even comprehend. One of the most significant lessons that I have been able to observe is that the laws of commerce are blind. That means that the principles of success work for anyone who is able to understand them and direct them in such a way that benefits the customer in a consistent fashion. 7 years ago, I launched into a business of my own and became an outfitter on the Middle Fork of the Salmon River in the Idaho wilderness. We provide very high-quality 6-day wilderness whitewater and fly fishing adventures. Now that was a jump out of the frying pan and into the fire experience of free enterprise. With the introduction of employees, government regulations, natural limitations, hundreds of customers. However, my wife and I were able to build our business in 7 years to increase our gross sales by 500% and profits by more than 300% to put us in the top 5% of incomes in America. For what? For running rafting trips 4 months a year. Now, while I understand that this is a very limited business experience, I might argue that it would give me more of a platform to talk about business ownership in America than most of the college professors in the Ivy League who have never spent a day owning and operating a business that competed in the free market system. But in the end, that final decision will rest with you. You've already been introduced to our product and the value that it offers to our customers, so I won't discuss that again here. However, you absolutely must understand that that is the very basic foundation of all of our operations. Again, simply put, we have a great product that people desire and they can afford, and we can provide it at a service level and a cost that dominate in the marketplace. And you have a chance to make a great deal of money working with us to provide this service across America. We've already put together a fantastic team of experts in every necessary arena, from legal issues to information technology to accounting to production and distribution, to support you in your business ownership. Let's talk for a moment about business, your job, and financial situation. In the immortal words of Dr. Phil McGraw, how's it working for you? Truly, I don't mean to be intrusive or rude, but let me ask you a very personal question. Are you happy with your financial situation in life? Are you pleased with how you spend the vast majority of your life every day pursuing a living? I know there are many, many more important things in life than money, like family, friends, and other things. But how much time do you get to spend with your children each week compared to how many hours you spend with your boss? If your child is sick and needs you, but your boss has a deadline and needs you, who wins? The necessity of finances is a fact of life and needs to be dealt with. Now, I understand that many of you are very successful and have forgotten more about business success this last month than I've ever known. But I challenge you directly. If you are all set, how many other people are you lifting to success along with you? Or is it your goal simply to provide for yourself? Pat Belding leveled a question directly at me a year ago, and I lost sleep for a month. Our business had become viable. I was all excited about all the toys I could buy and the time to enjoy them. But he asked me, so what? What legacy did I wish to create? I searched deeply and found that the joy is not in reaching some plateau of leisure, but investing yourself into the dreams and the goals of the people you love. Or please ask yourself another very important question. If you became injured today and could not go to work tomorrow, what would your life look like in a month, in 6 months, in a year? The ugly fact is that most Americans would be in severe risk of losing their cars, houses, and everything else if they could not perform at their job for only 6 months. That simply is not acceptable. No wonder so many people live with constant stress. Polls clearly show that the vast majority of Americans are displeased or very displeased with their working situation. The problem is that most people do not know how to do anything about it because most of us have never been trained in the free market system, even though we are surrounded by it every day. Most believe that business success truly belongs to other people who are lucky enough to be born into money, or those dishonest capitalists that exploit all of us working people. I'm here to tell you that that is simply not true at all. Americans work very, very hard. However, I am about to challenge you to consider the historical, proven differences between working hard and smart versus working just hard. Most people believe that their financial future is imminently about to improve. They must, because most people spend a tremendous amount of money through debt now, somehow expecting that they will be in a better position to pay later. Now, we're all very aware of the fruit that grows on that tree. The insanity of the situation is that they are not changing any of the inputs. They just sort of hope that the outcome changes. It doesn't, except for the worst. Now, the basic problem is that people have been trained to trade hours for dollars. Once faced with this, their first strategy is a good one, but it's limited. They go out and they get an education, which is a huge investment of money and time. Why? So that they can get more dollars per hour. but they are still limited to their own skills, their own time, and their own abilities. In a word, they are limited. One of the first laws of financial success is for people to understand the simple fact that whatever their income is, that is what it is. Live within those means. Do not overspend. But it's very much like an alcoholic. Admitting a problem is half the solution. A realistic assessment is the first step necessary to improve anyone's financial condition. Just ask any financial advisor if this is the truth. Without a budget, there cannot be a plan, period. So we analyze our situation and would like for it to improve. What avenues are available for people to increase their incomes if not through a job? Investments? Great idea, but requires extra money that you're willing to risk. For most people, this is a good supplement, but not a primary strategy for creating a living. How about owning and operating your own small business? Get into business for yourself and be your own boss. Sounds good, but boy, check the water before you jump. Why? Number one, businesses usually require a large amount of capital. Again, a shortage in most people's realities. And number two, business knowledge is very difficult to learn. People who have it guard the real principles of success because they do not want to train their competition. So if you had to learn the hard way, it generally takes several years to create a successful business mode, which ties into number three. And number three is that small businesses generally require a large investment of time. This usually requires a person to quit their full-time employment. Now, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to discover why most of the small businesses fail. Even if they can get the capital to start, they cannot survive long enough to learn the lessons necessary to provide a good or service to a customer in a competitive environment. Basically, the problem is that no one wishes for them to succeed, and they don't, period. Well, how about inheritance? Some may and some may not. It is my hope that you do not have an inheritance waiting for you. If you do, you will probably be cheated out of the very forces that will encourage you to face your fears and doubts and challenge yourself to learn and compete on your own. When I was young, my dad told me that hunger was God's gift for man to introduce his belt buckle to his backbone and make him face his fears and go out and get going. I've grown to learn and cherish that very value. What other options do most people have to them? Lottery? Suing people? Any other ideas? Thus, many Americans, not knowing how to compete in the free market, settle in for a life of quiet desperation. Or, better yet, you see a lot of people complaining, hey, the government should be doing more to protect my farm, job, entitlement to health services. You fill in the blank. Let me suggest to you strongly that America was not built on entitlements. America was built on opportunities, and that is a huge difference. Freedom is not the right to do what you want, free of consequences. Freedom is the privilege to do the right things, like provide a service that benefits a mass population of consumers. Maybe something like give people a chance to get healthier food products. Maybe give people a chance to buy those products at a lower price with better service. How about give individuals the chance to own and operate their own business with the help of a support system? We believe in the free market system. We believe that most people would much rather have a fair chance of success than a guaranteed entitlement, if only they knew what to do. So, if after all that, you're still watching this video and haven't dismissed me as a ranting prophet for free enterprise, then I will proceed with the understanding that you are open to finding a way in which you can compete with us as a team in developing your business and finding your dreams. When it comes to business, there are many competing opinions and few hard facts. But one hard fact is evident and impossible to ignore. In the last 50 years, the rise of franchises as a more successful business model in the United States is certain. Now, we have witnessed the rise of franchise era and the decline of traditional small business. To understand this and why it has happened, we need to understand the differences between being in business for yourself and being in business by yourself. We'll illustrate the difference by showing you a model I'm sure you know about. Now, let's imagine we're in Southern California in the 1950s and we're watching two businesses develop. One is called Mom and Pop's, and the other is a small burger joint called McDonald's. Both have a basic product and service that people desire and can afford. Both desire to increase their production. Now, Mom and Pop's attempts to buy more and more restaurants. They soon run into a law of business.
Employees do not care as much as owners. The larger they get, the more challenge they have to control the quality and efficiency. High school employees simply do not care as much. Most often, the cycle of such businesses goes full circle, and generally they draw back and reduce their operations to 1 or 2 outlets at the most. They simply found a law of business working against them called diminishing returns. At the same time, a man named Ray Kroc came up with another model. He was also looking for ways to expand his distribution line. However, instead of buying more restaurants and hiring more employees, he decided to do something revolutionary. He decided to train people to basically compete with him, albeit separated by geographical districts. Hence, he began a franchise model. He found that as someone spent the money necessary to own their own business, they simply would do a better job of running that than an employee. Now, this is the basic business tool of duplication. I do not know the franchise contracts of McDonald's, and I'm not proposing now to be accurate in their dealings, but let's just imagine for a moment how it might work. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you give 2% of your gross sales to the McDonald's headquarters to hang the golden arches outside your burger joint? If you would, it'd be a really good idea. Just look at the historical proven success of McDonald's franchises versus mom and pop's restaurants. Now, hence, Ray and Joan Kroc invested in other people and taught them how to be successful. Ray and Joan Kroc did not really create great hamburgers. Ray and Joan Kroc created business owners, and they created very successful business owners. Why? Number one, they have proven that there is strength in numbers. There's a fancy word for that, and it's called economy of scale. Now, trust me, if you own a McDonald's, you do not pay the same price for hamburgers that mom and pop's does. Number two, they teach people a proven business plan. That reduces the learning curve and hastens profitability, which in turn reduces risk. And number three, they provided people ownership. Now, I touched on this before, but it's an essential fact. If the owner was unable to work, his income could continue. Simply put, Ray and Joan Kroc helped many people become successful. What was their reward for their efforts? Well, let's just hypothetically say that each McDonald's grosses $10,000 a day and they pay 2% back to the franchisor for being part of their team. Again, these are fictitious numbers, but they will demonstrate the reality of the success of this business model. Let's just safely assume that there are 10,000 franchises around the world. That means Ray and Joan, under this model, would make $2 million a day profits, day after day after day. Now, do you think they lay awake at night worried if anyone's going to show up for breakfast tomorrow? Hardly. Now, how many of you would love to be in their shoes right now? Well, actually they're both dead. But their legacy lives on. Just last week, the Joan Kroc Foundation gave millions of dollars of grants to a small town in northern Idaho for a project that will benefit thousands of people. By investing in the success of others, they created a legacy that will exist long after they were able to participate themselves. Now that's true success. People helping people helping people. Now they had their detractors. Trust me again, anyone who does anything in this world will have people who are helping no one, going nowhere, doing nothing, harassing them from somewhere back in the cheap seats. If you intend to succeed in life, it will not be any different for you. Now, the Krocs taught people how to compete in the free market and utilize certain tools, but their personal success was exponentially greater because they utilized even more essential elements of success. The first is duplication. This is investing in others. Now, how many of you are simply too busy to pursue any other opportunities? Now, I'm about to show you that this is your reason and not your excuse any longer to make some critical changes in your life. Ray was also busy. In the words of Henry Ford, to succeed in business, you must be innovative, creative, and work at least half days. And it doesn't really matter if it's the first half or the last half. But let's say Ray worked 40 hours per week, and let's say he eventually created 1,000 franchise owners who owned and operated their own businesses. Ray worked 40 hours, but so did the 1,000 owners. Now there's 40,000 hours of work being done, plus Ray's, all of which profit him to some degree. What if Ray became injured? Would his income stop? Would yours, if you became injured tomorrow? Let me ask you a question. Is it better to own 100% of a small enterprise or 1/10 of 1% of a tremendous enterprise? I told you I would show you the historically proven differences of working hard and smart and simply working hard. I'm about to open the door for you to utilize the exact same tools that were demonstrated above by duplicating a simple and profitable business plan just like Ray did. Now, Ray eventually created the ultimate business weapon, residual income. He actually created a system that allowed him to do the work once and get paid over an extended period for his efforts. Just a quick pause. If I have offended anybody by explaining that there is a difference between working hard and smart, please understand my intentions. I believe that people do not work smart, largely because they simply have not been educated about these principles. They simply lack the tools. It's as if two men have a common mission. They're both to dig a ditch, let's say 10 feet wide, 4 feet deep, and a mile long. The first shows up with a shovel and is told to get busy. And dutifully, that man hits it hard. It's admirable. It's courageous. It's mostly futile. It is, in a word, limited. Now, the second man shows up with the backhoe. Does he actually work any harder? Is he actually any smarter? I would argue no. He simply has access to basic tools that leverage his efforts to achieve the results he desires. Now, if you do not have teamwork, economy of scale, duplication, residual income, and business ownership, or a proven business plan and support system working for you, then unfortunately you're probably digging with a shovel. Now, there is absolutely no shame in that. The shame only comes if a backhoe is offered and a man refuses to consider quote, quote, change and lowers his head and guts it out with no concern if that change would actually help his family, community, and nation. Generally, that emotional, irrational allegiance to the status quo is a matter and product of pride and status. I was told once that status is generally buying things you can't afford to impress people you don't even like. Now, if you believe that you are a man or woman of character, I lay a simple challenge at your feet. If your family's financial future is at risk, if at any time, if you are unable to physically go and work and perform, can you afford that pride? Now, we're at the meat of this opportunity, pardon the pun. I will show you how you can make a very significant income working with us to supply our product. You will have a unique opportunity to work hard and smart. First question that comes to mind is, hey, where's the money come from? Well, listen to the gecko. Simply eliminate the middleman. We save money by not needing to purchase premium real estate for retail sales and all the taxes, insurance, employment expenses associated with all those business needs. And can you just imagine how much money we save from the middleman by not needing to advertise? We only pay our marketing team if products actually sell. We don't spend millions of upfront money hoping that something sells. We have a very efficient distribution system that streamlines cost. Additionally, we are not committed to purchasing large quantities of cattle and thus being exposed to risks of changes in the markets. We simply contract with suppliers when beef is purchased. Now, when you eliminate all those expenses, it is very possible for us to do the following. Number one, we pay our producers a premium to motivate them to produce a healthier, better quality product. And that in itself is a very, very good thing. Number two, we can get the beef to the consumer at a better price than they have available to them in other market outlets. And that is a good thing for them and for you. Number three, it allows us to pay 20% of the gross sales to be distributed to franchise owners like you as franchise revenues each month. Now, this is a great thing for you and for I. Now, just like McDonald's, we have a successful business model. We have a product or service that people need and they can afford. Now we want to seek to increase our pipeline and compete in the free market system. And we intend to do that in an intelligent manner through principles that have proven to be successful. Now make sure you understand, we sell franchise opportunities for people to make money by selling beef. Nobody makes any money for selling franchises. So how does someone create a franchise? Well, quite easily. You go to our website or the website of the franchise owner who introduced you to this opportunity and you register for one for only $50 per year. Notice there's no franchise fee of any kind. Now we need to pause for a moment and make certain that we are all clear on one other point. We have chosen to call our independent marketing people quote-unquote franchise owners because we believe that that most clearly captures the spirit of our relationship with them. However, these are not franchises that fall under the very strict legal definitions of our federal government and most state governments in regards to opportunities that require large investments, which they call franchise laws. Now, to be blunt, These ownership opportunities are not regulated by the more restrictive franchise laws because there's no large fee. We do not propose to be in compliance with any of these franchise laws or securities offerings. We don't need that burden. Be sure you understand, you absolutely do own a business of your own in every legal sense with all the tools of commerce I'm about to explain to you at your disposal. Your business is in complete compliance with every federal and state law that applies to you. However, that business does not need to fall under the more restrictive legal restrictions of franchise laws, no matter what term we use to name it, and that's a very good thing for you. Now, to illustrate this further, let's use an example that we'll all understand. Let's say you're driving down a freeway in your personal car. Now, you're definitely driving and enjoying the tools of modern transportation, and you are being controlled by many of the laws of the land. However, if you wish to drive down that same freeway with a semi-load of radioactive materials, you would be regulated by those same laws plus many, many more than before, which would be exponentially more restrictive. So you should now see that you have a wonderful opportunity to enjoy most, if not all, the benefits of successful franchise ownership without all of the burden of increased legislation that weighs down legally defined franchises. I hope that's clear as mud for you. We will give some basic legal guidance and accounting duties you might need to start your business, but you will be responsible to handle those needs yourself. You will then be given the choice to purchase tools that can help you in your efforts like website access, copies of this brochure and video, business cards, letterhead, envelopes, back office support, quantity handling packages, and many other items. Now, these expenses are voluntary and your costs may vary depending on how serious you are and how fast you wish to grow. But a budget of $1,000 a year should be a good budget to start with. Now, please check the website for current prices and tool lists. Now, understand, you certainly do not need to purchase these items, but we highly encourage you to for the following 2 reasons. Number 1, the whole point is to work hard and smart, not just hard. Would you rather hand someone a video that explains everything, or would you rather do it yourself? And even if you could do it yourself, how many other people are capable of following your lead? Now, as we have discussed in detail, you'll be much more successful when you use the correct tools to leverage your time and abilities. Now, you should also understand that it is a fantastic value for you. Try taking $1,000 and seeing if you could put together a video like this or a quality brochure and then add a world-class technology system to track all of your operations. You are benefiting tremendously from the power of the team. Simply put, you don't need to go out and reinvent the wheel. It's already rolling for you. Number 2, our company uses a portion of these sales of these tools to create all the infrastructure for your business. Now, I told you that I would be honest and transparent. I also told you that I do not take any profits except as franchise owner just like you. These funds are 100% completely reinvested into the infrastructure that creates this very opportunity for you. You may be successful without using these tools and are certainly welcome to try, but realistically, I do not think that it is likely. Now, if at this point you're yelling at me saying, whoa, wait a minute, I see the catch now. It cost me $1,000 a year. You're right, and I profusely apologize. It really should be more like $100,000 a year. Now, do not be fooled by the fact that this is such a small capital investment. That is your contribution to pay for the infrastructure necessary to create the opportunity for you to begin business. For example, if someone in Kentucky were to buy a beef through your business, we will be responsible for collecting and paying state taxes, local taxes, county taxes. If someone returns their beef for any reason under our guarantee, we will purchase it back. When we need to pay several hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Oracle software company and to the consultant group each year so that your paycheck finds you at the end of each month, we pay for these costs out of these funds. Now, just so that no one has any misunderstandings of how this money is used, we have put it into an account that is audited quarterly and posted for public review on our website. Now, the greatest risk is that people may not actually believe that this is a legitimate business when it only requires that minimum of risk. However, we dealt with this in detail. By working as a group, we can utilize the tool of economy of scale, and we can create great opportunities at a small cost to each individual member, and that's smart business. Now, I know for some of you out there that $1,000 is a large investment, and I understand, but it begs the question, how's it working for you? Listen to me. If you really have a dream, if you really understand that this is a chance and not a guarantee, and you simply cannot collect the money to purchase the tools necessary to succeed, you please write to me and let me know your situation. And I personally, not the company, but I personally will give you an opportunity to earn that money by serving some people in your community who would be blessed from your efforts. I'll never give you something for nothing, but I will let you earn your chance. I am not guaranteeing you that you will be successful, but I will walk through hell with anyone who has fighting him. I just won't sit there and whine about how tough it is with anybody, and I mean anybody. No one will ever be prohibited from receiving help if you're willing to help yourself with whatever abilities you have to work with. I am that serious about giving everyone a chance and the seriousness of using the right tools for the job. Now, please let me introduce a few terms necessary to understand our financial plans. Number one, we purchase cattle ready for harvest somewhere between 1,000 and 1,250 pounds. Now, that will produce somewhere between 400 and 500 pounds of retail cut beef. We need to standardize all of our shipping containers, so we have determined that a term, 1 unit of beef equals 400 pounds, which is really roughly one animal. Hence, 1 unit of beef equals 400 pounds. Thus, if you can do the math, a half a unit is 200 pounds, a quarter unit is 100 pounds, and the eighth unit is 50 pounds. We will package everything into identical 50-pound mixed boxes. That means that every box will have an identical makeup with certain percentages of the cuts, ranging from T-bone steaks to roast to hamburgers. Now, please view the website to see the makeup of our packaging currently. The great news is that people can purchase quantities as little as 50 pounds, which is approximately only 1/8 of a beef at a time, or they can purchase quantities as large as a whole beef, or even more. Now, to support you in your business, to serve your customers, we have contracted with a manufacturer to provide a chest freezer to be delivered to your customer's door prior to the shipment of beef if they are willing to sign a multi-year contract to continue the purchase beef from you. Again, please refer to our website for the current offerings. Now, just think for a second. Do you even begin to realize what an amazing opportunity that is for you? This means that you are generating a residual income, because if your clients sign a multi-year contract with you, you did the work once, but you get paid for several years. Now, when was the last time that happened to you? Beef is an incredible product to market, because people already use it. They eat it and then they buy more. It's a great deal for everyone except the grocery stores. Thus, you sell a unit of beef. What happens? Well, wait, let's stop just for a second. How do you sell a unit of beef? Well, basically, you do not have to be an expert, but you have a job to do. I would suggest you use the tools. Hand this video package out to the people you know and see if they wish to buy beef. If they do, they will go to the website, purchase beef, put it in your franchise number, then they will get their beef and you'll get paid. Now think about it again for a second. Do you realize that you do not even need to handle the product or the money? Now compare that to that chain thing that Aunt Mildred worked in the 1970s. I mean, come on. If you cannot hand this video to people with pride and ask them if they're interested in getting a quality, wholesome product with great service and a great price, just please save the hassle and do not get a franchise. So, how much money do you get paid when you sell a unit? Well, once again, the contract states that 20% of the gross sales volume is paid back to you, the franchise owners, as quote-unquote franchise revenues. Now, some of that 20% you will get, some of it will go to others. That mathematical equation is what I will explain now. The market cost of beef is a very fluid market. We will fluctuate with the retail price of beef on a weekly basis. That is one of our huge market advantages. The makeup and cost of our packages will be posted on the website each week. But for now, let's just assume that the price will be $4.50 per pound average for all the cuts in the box. Again, this is only for explanation purposes at this time. Let's pause for a moment. Unless all of you have 72-inch big screens, it'll be hard to show all of these numbers in an easy-to-read format on the screen. Now, there should be an insert in the back of your brochure that contains the 15 graphs that we will use to explain your opportunity. Now, 1 unit equals 400 pounds. So if we sell that for $4.50 per pound, that equals $1,800 per unit. If 20% is earmarked for franchise revenues, that goes into the following 15 separate accounts. That means that for every single unit of beef is sold at this price of $4.50 per pound, $360 is generated to come back to the franchise owners through this commission structure to reward them for their successful business efforts. Again, this is the money that used to go to the middlemen. Basically, you can think of each of these accounts as separate paychecks that seek out and find the first person who it comes to who qualifies to receive it. Now notice a couple things that are different about this than other plans. Number one, the largest percentage is up front. Now that's great. See, if 50% of the total commissions goes to the person who has a total volume of 1 unit, and only 1% of the commission goes to the person who qualifies for is up to 40,000 units per month. But just like Ray Kroc, it is better to have 1% of 40,000 than 50% of 1. But we all have to start somewhere, including me. Now, in case I didn't mention it, we do not make any guarantees. We do better than that. We actually post the franchise revenues on the website so there will never be any deception or complaints that people are dishonest. However, now we will demonstrate some theoretical scenarios for purpose of explaining the commission structure. If you could produce these results, you will receive these payments. We will look at 4 theoretical scenarios. We'll call this Scenario 1, Month 1. You get into business for yourself and you work hard. You sell 52 units. Think about it. That's 2 or 3 a day. You treat this like a full-time job. At the end of a month, perhaps you move 52 units. Well, 52 times $4.50 a pound times 400 pounds times 20% equals $18,720, which is generated as franchise revenues. Now this $18,720 gets placed into the 15 accounts as we described just before. From now on, we will only show the first 6 of the 15 accounts for brevity and to fit on a page. But now please refer to chart number 2. So you can see that looking at chart number 2, that a check for $9,360 will seek out the first person who qualified for 1 or more units of sales that month. A second check for $936 will seek out the first person who qualified for 10 or more units a month. Another check for $936 will seek out the person who qualified for 25 or more units. And that continues all the way until the $18,720 is distributed into all 15 accounts. Your job is simply to qualify for higher and higher levels. So, how did you do this month? Now notice, you qualified for 50 units, but less than 100. Hence, you are awarded the following commissions, which are represented in yellow. Now, please refer to graphic number 3. So when you add the 1 unit award, the 10 unit award, the 25 unit award, and the 50 unit award, you get a check for $12,168 this month, which is $146,000 per year if you continue this production. What is even more, your efforts with the help of your team created a total of $18,720 this month. Thus, the people who created the system and business system for you to succeed shared $6,552 this month. Now, if you bought the unlimited handling fee when you began your business, you will not have any deductions for the handling costs of $20 per unit. If you chose not to purchase that package, then you would be charged $20 times your 52 units and would thus net $11,128. We will assume in all of our following scenarios that you wisely chose to contribute to your infrastructure when you started. Congratulations, you are successful in the free market system. You've worked hard, and this is a viable business. You can continue on this path because most of these sales are probably on contracts. Hence, you have an excellent business started. You are capitalizing on one tool, which is residual income. However, perhaps you could apply a few more of the tools of success. Now, what are your options? Option 1, you could work harder and keep going. But option 2 is what we're going to represent through scenario 2. Now, scenario 2, month 1, you begin your franchise, but you can't afford to leave your full-time job. You have a family and community commitments, but you can send 10 to 12 friends this video, and lo and behold, 4 of them decide they like the option of eating healthy beef. In the end, you sell 4 units. Now, 4 units times $360 equals $1,440, which is generated as franchise revenues. What do you qualify to receive for your efforts? Well, let's look at the graph. Please refer to chart number 4. Now, please take a moment and look at how the commissions have loaded the different chart of accounts. You sold more than 1 unit but less than 10. So, you qualify for the commissions in yellow below. You are paid $720, which would be $8,640 a year if you continue this production. Now, this may not change your life forever, but it sure makes your franchise purchase look smart. But you kept your full-time job. Now, let's be real. This isn't a huge deal, but it is a successful basic business model, much like the McDonald's franchise. It is significant because each model from now on will assume that every franchise can sell 4 units per month. Now, if that is possible, then the following is possible. Now, wouldn't you really like to make more income? Well, you're just like every other business owner, so you decide you would like to expand your pipeline to move more product. You could just work harder, but you have those commitments we discussed. No, you wish to work smart. You utilize the backhoe of business development and you duplicate yourself 3 times and mentor 3 other franchise owners. Now wait, stop a minute. How do you mentor another franchise? Once again, you have a job to do. Again, I suggest to you that you use the correct tool. Why don't you hand them a copy of this brochure and DVD, and then, here's the hard part, you ask them if they want to look at an opportunity to market a high-quality beef product at a great price through an internet distribution system, and you wait and see what they say. Now, is it possible that 3 people you know have enough common sense to analyze a business based upon a sound business sense? Well, lo and behold, they have unfulfilled dreams and desires, and they see an opportunity and they're capable people. They sign onto the website, register for a franchise just like you did. They utilize your franchise number so their production will be linked to your success forever. Now, we need to stop once again and introduce a new term, which is total production. Your total production is basically all of the sales that ever occur because you had anything to do ever with this business. Now, that means it equals all the sales that you make personally, and that is called your personal production. Plus, all the sales that occur because you have helped others to learn to sell beef, which is the sum of your franchise group's production. Now, your total production equals your personal production plus the sum of your franchise group's production. So if each of your 3 new franchise groups sell 4 units each, and you personally sell 4 units, your total production this month is 16 units. Thus, 16 units times $4.50 a pound times 400 pounds times 20% equals $5,760 in franchise revenues, which gets distributed into the commission account in Chart 6. Now, please notice how your personal production loads the charts, as well as how each of your 3 new franchise groups load their own charts for the commissions. Now, your total production is 16 units, so you qualify for more than 10, but less than 25 units, as shown in yellow below on graphic 7. Now, your commission seems to be at this point $3,168. However, your team members deserve reward for their efforts as well. They qualify for all sales for more than 1 but less than 10, as indicated by green. Now, on graphic 8, now you get to keep the franchise revenues in yellow, which now depict the commissions you qualified for minus the commissions that your individual franchise owners qualified for. Thus, you can see that your profitability is attained by qualifying for higher levels of commission than each of your individual franchise groups. You net $1,008. Now, that's a very nice income for a very part-time effort. But each of your friends that you helped profited $720 this month, just like you did last month. But you did not work any harder. You worked smarter, and that's leverage. You now have 2 very important tools working for you. Number 1, residual income and duplication. You worked 5 hours, but so did your 3 franchise groups. You worked 5 hours, but received some benefit for 20 hours. You have leveraged your time and abilities. Now, let's follow this through. Scenario 2, month 3. Your tool of duplication is about ready to go to work for you. Each of your 3 franchise groups duplicates themselves 3 times. Now, why would they do that? Because they have dreams and goals of their own, because they have their own aspirations, because they want to help and secure their family's future. Now, a franchise group is all the production that comes directly or indirectly from a franchise owner that you personally mentored. Now, their production may stem from their personal efforts or from the efforts of franchises that they develop. Now, why would they do this? Again, we discussed that. They understand the principles of business success and they want to utilize them for their future. So your personal production is 4 units, and each of your individual new 3 franchise groups produce 16 units each. Thus, your total production is 52 units, which of course leads to $18,720 of total franchise revenues, just like scenario 1, which is returned to you and the larger team that created the chance for your success. Now, how much do you get to keep? Please refer to graphic 9. The franchise revenues are appropriately distributed into the commission structure. So, what did you earn? You qualified for 52 units, which is more than 50 but less than 100, which is depicted in yellow in chart 10. But each of your franchise groups qualified for 16 units, which is more than 10 but less than 25, depicted in green in chart 11. So you qualify for $2,664 this month, which would be $31,968 per year if you continued this production. Now, you have two very important tools working for you. Number 1, residual income, and duplication. You worked 5 hours, but so did your 12 franchise members. You worked 5, but received some benefit for 65. You have leveraged your time and abilities. If you are too busy for this business, you desperately need to do it. If you keep doing what you're doing, you'll never have time for anything that is important. Think about it this way. This month, you made 370% as much as you did in month 1, but you personally only sold the same amount of beef, and that is working hard and smart, not only working hard. Which is more profitable? Well, scenario 1 is, but which is a better business? Well, I would suggest that possibly scenario 2 is, because what is needed to double your profits from here? If you were injured, what would be the comparison of these two incomes? Now, stop and think for a minute. Would your day tomorrow be spent any differently if you received a check for about $2,000 each month? Is there anyone you'd like to help or spend time with? Any vacation you'd like to take? I thought so. How about getting out of debt? How good would it feel to never owe anyone anything except your love? Now stop for a minute. I need to introduce to you one of the corporate values of our company. We believe that leaders lead by example. We all want our teams to sell a lot of beef, hence, we need to sell some beef ourselves. Thus, to be eligible to receive any franchise revenues generated from the sale of your franchise groups, you need to have either sold 4 units in that month yourself, or 20 in the last 6 months, or 40 units in the last 12 months. That is, because if all of your customers purchase their products, let's say in January, you may not have any other customer orders for a few months. If you produce, you deserve to be paid the leadership commissions. If you don't produce, then you don't deserve those commissions. Now, scenario 3, month 1, is just the same as scenario 2, month 1. You get into business for yourself and you move 4 units. But now, month 2, you've understood the system and you realize that profitability rests upon having a large number of personal franchise groups. So, you mentor 12 instead of 3 who sell 4. Now, they may be on the opposite side of the nation from you, but they also have dreams. They have unfulfilled goals and desires. Let's say that everyone sells their 4 units. Wow, we're back to the same 52 total units being sold again, which creates $18,720 in total franchise revenues. Let's take a look at how this commission scenario plays out for you. Once again, please notice that this is the same 52 units as scenario 1 and 2, but your profitability is $3,528 this month, or $42,336 per year if you were able to sustain this production, which is less than scenario 1, but it's more than scenario 2. But you have laid the foundation for an incredible business. For number 1, you're a leader. I mean, let's break this down again so that we all understand. You learned how to sell 4 units of beef a month through the use of our tools and system. You somehow found 12 people intelligent and capable enough to do the same thing. We're only talking about 13 total people, and you profit $42,000 per year. Now, of course, this will not be absolutely easy, but so what? What do you do now for $42,000 a year? What would you need to do to increase your income at your job, $42,000 a year? What did you have to risk to make this happen? I absolutely challenge any of you to show me any other business in the world that has this profitable of offering for the risk and time required. I'd very much like to be part of it. Now, the tools of commerce are really ready to start to roll for you. Let's look at scenario 3, month 3. Your 12 do exactly what you did. And why would they do that? Because you were a leader. They saw through your example the profitability of doing such. Let's face it, there are at least 12 people in the entire United States that can do what you can do with your help. So you sell 4 units. But each of your 12 franchise groups sell 52 units each, just like you did last month. Now that means that you, with the help of others, have created a business that was able to move 628 units of beef from producers to consumers, which of course generated $226,080 in total franchise revenues. Now we're cooking with oil. So now let's look at graphic 14 to understand what you were rewarded for your successful operations in the free market. You made $30,326 this month, which equals $363,000 per year if you sustain this production. But the people you mentored each profited $3,528 this month, and the people that they mentored profited $720 each. And all the customers got their 100% guaranteed wholesome natural beef delivered to their door for a great price. This is a good business. Everyone benefits from your efforts. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you're taking advantage of your friends. I wish that my friends would use me by helping me profit $3,522 a month. Now I know I just lost a lot of you. Most people simply vapor lock when they see numbers like that. They proclaim, hey, this has to be a scam. That's simply not possible. And you know, it always comes from those who are not familiar with the power of the tools of commerce, for those who have traded hours for dollars all their lives. You know, when I first began as a corporate pilot, I was absolutely dumbfounded by the expense of such activities. I could not comprehend how companies could justify such expenses. However, I came to learn the value of time and the value of the enterprises that these leaders were leading that I was flying around the country. Now rest assured that the man digging a ditch with a shovel 100 years ago, when told what a backhoe could accomplish in 1 hour, would have proclaimed that it was simply a scam, that it's simply not possible. Nothing could dig that much dirt that fast. Some things never change. Now dream for a second. Can you dare to dream that big? As you ponder the possibilities, you should consider one thing. If your thoughts do not include helping others to achieve their dreams, then most likely it will only ever be a dream for you. But if you can overcome your fears, if you could reach out and help others, it could very well become a reality. Look, I have risked a tremendous amount because I believe that you can, and I will help you until we get her done together. Okay, let's pause for just a moment to search what we've accomplished together. Hey, number 1, we own our own business and are teaching others to do the same thing. Number 2, we have economy of scale working for us. Number 3, we're working with a successful support team and following a proven business plan. Number 4, we have the power of duplication working for us. Think about it. We work 10 hours a week, but we might receive rewards for thousands of hours. Hey, and we're not limited to our own skills. If you're too old, work with someone who's younger. If you're too tall, work with someone who's short. If you're skinny, work with someone who's fat. Hey, I got to go out of my way to work with people that aren't ugly. What's your excuse? You can either make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both at the same time. Number 5, we've developed residual income, and we've done that in 2 ways. First of all, we have people working for us who are capable and are making more money than they're willing to give up. Number 2, we have contracts all over the country for multiple years. People eat and buy more. Number 6, we've heard it said in business, location, location, location. Hey, your location is the entire United States, and hopefully soon around the world. We are working hard to make sure that the sun never sets on your business. Hey, congratulations. You have the proven tools of commerce supporting your enterprises. Okay, scenario 4. Let's be realistic. Nothing grows so nice and neat. In fact, it's a pretty well-known fact that 20% of the people do 80% of the work. Now let's take a look at a more realistic possibility. Well, let's assume that over the process of several months or even years, you learned how to utilize the power of the team and the tools to establish a consistent sales of 4 units per month. Now please remember that many of your customers will decide to get the great deal on the freezer for signing a multi-year contract. Thus, the work needed to maintain this production will actually go down over the years. And let's assume that you embrace our 2020 Vision for Success model and you personally mentor 20 individuals to build their own business, while always ensuring that you personally move at least 20 units every 60 months. Hence the catchy term 2020. Now, every one of your franchise owners talked big and had huge goals, but we know that 5 of 8 of them are going to fizzle out. They'll have one person make fun of them and they will tuck tail and run. Unfortunately, they'll never help anyone because they're so focused on themselves. But let's say that in a period of a year, or another 6 of them develop a business that were good but not incredible. We will call these franchises 1 through 6. Let's say they're able to achieve teams that could produce somewhere between 20 and 150 units per month. Hey, but the great news is you'll probably find 6 people or so that will be able to embrace the opportunity, and they will succeed with or without your help. They have their own dreams. They're capable people. They don't need any babysitters. They have friends in New York. They have business associates in LA. Hey, they have a mom in Memphis. They will have a team that explodes all over the country, and you couldn't stop them if you wanted to. You're not the big deal. You simply opened the door of opportunity to people who were poised and ready for such a chance. We'll call these franchises 7 through 12.
So now let's look at this theoretical opportunity presented in graphic 15.
Notice how each franchise group varies from one another in which commission accounts they qualify for and which accounts pass along to you. So by this point, you should have a really good understanding of how the system works. You add all of your production together and find out what commission accounts you qualify for, and then subtract each individual franchise group. Guess what? The same thing is happening to each of your franchise groups. Obviously, if at any point one of your franchise groups reached the 40,000 units per month, your income from that production would cease for that month. But I would suggest to you that you were paid very well along the way helping that group succeed. Plus, you would still qualify for 40,000 units and above, which would make you extremely profitable with all of your other smaller franchise groups.
When you add all the commissions that you qualify for, minus the ones that your team qualified for, you are left with the yellow commissions, which total $475,214 this month. Now this is $5,702,000 per year if you continue with this production,
for moving approximately 10,000 cattle per month. If that doesn't light your fire, your wood's wet. But some of you are screaming right now, oh, you finally figured out the problem is saturation. So let's discuss saturation for a minute. The United States beef industry is a $100 billion a year industry. Right now there's a harvest of approximately 27 million steers and heifers and many, many more dairy and older animals. Your 10,000 units will not even register on a blip on the screen. Also, the United States population increases by approximately 3.2 million people per year, and that would increase consumption of beef by approximately $1.2 billion a year. It would be our wildest dream to be able to keep up with the population growth alone, much less developing into international markets or diversifying to other products. You see, we are not limited to beef. Once we have this sales force established, we will have all the tools of business success serving our needs, including a huge economy of scale. We can select our choice of potential suppliers who would wish to market through us with the agreement that, of course, that 20% gross is paid to you, our franchise owners. We understand that not everyone is going to own a franchise. We're not limited to selling to franchise owners. This beef product alone will appeal to millions of people who will never own a franchise or ever want to own one. They will just be happy to be buying a better beef product at a better price. The fact is, saturation is a fallacy. Even if you live in Little Grangeville, Idaho, it does not exist. This is the real thing. It is working smart. It has incredible potential. It requires people with a vision and drive. I got to ask you, do you have the courage to take the risk, to chase your dreams? Do you have the courage to give people a hand up and not a handout? Forgot, there really isn't much risk except pride. You know, the funny thing about all this is that some of you out there are looking for every conceivable reason that this won't work. And when it does, you will determine that, hey, those people were just lucky. You know, I was told once that the harder I work, the luckier I get. Others of you are looking cautiously and carefully, but inside you, you're lit up, you're hoping. Is it possible? Is this guy for real? Well, we are for real. I told you when we started that I would show you the opportunity as I see it. But I also told you that I would share with you candid observations of the challenges we face and the obstacles you need to overcome if you are to be successful. I want you to be informed. I want you to make a decision to join us or not based upon the facts. But I'm sure you might need a quick break. I sure know I do. Now that we've discovered the tremendous power of the tools available as a franchise owner, I would like to be as transparent as possible with you and share with you what I see are the challenges of this business. Now, you definitely can be successful,
but you must be able to overcome these challenges. However, we do give you our word that we will be here to help you. Now, the first challenge is credibility. People have been conditioned that historically the burden of expensive overhead, let's say like buildings, employees, and etc., was the very litmus test of being in business. However, the solution to that misunderstanding has already been largely achieved. For consider, Amazon.com is the world's largest book distribution business. However, you've probably never seen one of their stores, or their employees, or their trucks. Regardless, they have become extremely effective at getting books from producers to consumers, and that is the very definition of commerce. Now, any philosophies that businesses need the traditional weights and anchors of storefronts and overhead, capital, and employees to compete, well, those theories belong in the museum right next to the bones of other prehistoric animals who could not deal with change. Now, the second and possibly largest obstacle you may find is that people may have a preconceived stigma of network marketing businesses and associate any such marketing model as being like something like, quote, quote, that thing Aunt Mildred was in back in Tennessee back in the 1970s. Or, isn't that like using friends to sell things for you? Now, the solution to this challenge is easy. Number one, be honest and transparent in all your dealings. Number two, we need to educate those who wish to learn and let those who not go their own way. Probably back to complaining about the government not doing enough to protect them from the consequences in life. The marketing distribution system is proven, it's legal, it's ethical, it's used widely today, and most importantly, it's profitable. Now, if you're not proud of who we are and what we're doing, the most likely cause of that is you are simply uneducated about who we are and what we're doing. Again, we get a quality product from a producer to a consumer in a manner that benefits both. And in doing so, that gives the individuals opportunities to own and operate a business of their own with the support of a successful team. We are creating a heritage, and you are part of it. Now, the third challenge to your business will be inevitable delays in the supply chain. What I mean by that is that the beef industry is not exactly fluid. Now, if we wish to produce an animal to our standards, we have to begin that process several months before we can deliver the product to our customers. Now, we anticipate growth, and we have developed a supply system that can meet normal demands. However, as you know, we often experience explosive growth, which is a good thing, but it can often exceed our supply abilities, at least for a short period. Now, there are two possible solutions to this challenge. Number one, we could risk the financial viability of the company and buy a large supply of beef on the hope that it will sell when the time comes. Now, this is expensive and it's risky. It's a lot like what our competitors are doing that often causes them problems. And I will not allow the officers of this company to let that happen. Because number two, the real solution is simply educating the franchise owners, which is you and the customers, that it is to their benefit and yours that we sometimes have delays. You see, most business models would simply raise the price of their product to the level that the market could bear. Now, that's legitimate and it's good business generally, but it runs against our intentions to make multitudes of profitable franchises. We have seen USDA natural beef marketed around the country for 200 to 300% of our price. Please do the search yourself and test me on this. We will be honest and forthright with people when they order beef by using the following guidelines. Number one, when they attempt to order, we will inform them immediately if we anticipate that their order will be more than 30 days out. Then they will have the opportunity to cancel their order, or hopefully they will have the opportunity to place a 10% deposit on an order and secure a supply reservation, and then we will simply notify them when we anticipate a 30-day delivery for full payment and shipment. Or they also may pay the full purchase price, in which case we will then ship them their freezer if it is part of their contract, and we'll ship the beef as soon as available. Now, if delivery exceeds 30 days, we will reimburse all customers 10% interest on their money for the time we have their money in excess of 30 days until delivery. See, we're going out of our way to be above reproach. Delays are a good thing. It is the very evidence that our product is underpriced in the market, which benefits the franchise owner and our customers. Nonetheless, please rest assured that we will aggressively seek to increase supply as rapidly as possible to fulfill your orders. We pay all suppliers up to 20% premiums for their contribution to producing our quality products for your table. And we can still compete by eliminating the traditional costs of the middlemen. Now, the last challenge you may face is that buyers may not be in the habit of buying beef in larger quantities and may in fact not be currently capable to accommodate such orders. Obviously, we attack this problem head on by providing the incredible freezer system to support your sales. Secondly, we have made shipments of as small as 50 pounds of beef available per order. Now, the one other thing that I can see that's possible is that the existing distribution chains will not lay back and idly watch us capture a large portion of their market share. They simply cannot compete with us in our business. We're too streamlined and efficient. Now, this is not the first time that corporations have been challenged by direct sales business or internet marketing companies. Their response can be anticipated. They will seek to find some dishonest dealings by some rogue franchise owner who does not in any way represent the values of our larger organization, and they will attempt to exploit these sins in an attempt to discredit the whole business. Now, the solution to this challenge is simple but very, very important. We will be above reproach. We will be open, we will be honest, and we will aggressively seek out dishonest members and remove them from our association as quickly as possible. You are in a business for yourself and you are free of any boss. However, if you purposely violate the ethical values that we outline and are a part of our contract, I will hunt you down and remove you from our association. We will not allow our mission to be compromised by any selfish, unethical activities. Rocky Mountain Natural Cattle Company is a values-based organization and has staked our future on following the 5 cardinal values: integrity, leadership, respect of individual dignity and freedom of choice, win-win or no deal, and teamwork. Now, before I can explain our values in detail, you need to understand our mission and our vision. Our mission: Rocky Mountain Natural Cattle Company exists for the sole purpose of fulfilling 2 missions. Number 1, provide healthy, delicious, natural beef to consumers for a great value. And more importantly almost is number 2, which is create sustainable and competitive market opportunities for you, our franchise members. Now please note, Rocky Mountain Natural Cattle Company is a privately held corporation that has taken great efforts to determine that quote, quote, corporate profits or dividends are not a part of our mission. Rather, these resources are solely utilized to create long-term opportunities for our franchise members. Now, what does that mean to you? Basically, I took this risk to create this opportunity for you. I believe in this opportunity. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Regardless of this huge risk, I will limit all of my profits from this business to the exact same franchise opportunity that I'm offering you. Now, rest assured, I intend to make a profit through my franchise ownership. However, you may very well make more money in this business than I do, and I hope you do. I truly do. You can follow me because we have the exact same wants and needs. Our vision: Rocky Mountain Natural Cattle Company has committed its resources, energies, and focus to achieve the following 5-year goals. By the end of 2012, we intend to transform the United States beef market by placing positive market pressures on ranchers and processors to raise and process beef in accordance with USDA natural standards that will in turn enhance the nation's health and well-being. Indeed, our operations will cause a significant increase in overall beef production and consumption. And number 2, we will establish a large national membership of profitable franchise owners like yourself. As we discuss our core values, please understand that each of these values have 2 components. First and foremost, we have a commitment to you. Secondly, you have a commitment to us. So let's look at our first core value, integrity. We've already talked about this in great detail. Our commitment to you. We will build solid foundation and do everything that we can to create long-term, sustainable, profitable opportunities for you. Number 2, we will be transparent and above reproach. We will post all financial information for public review. Number 3, we will post all sales of support materials and tools and the utilization of these funds on our website. You may not always agree with our decisions, but you can choose to work with us or not based upon facts. And number 4, we will aggressively develop opportunities for you. Number 5, we will keep pricing competitive, which will benefit your business. Number 6, we will be honest and upfront with our customers considering back orders. Now I invite you to challenge me. If I wrong you, I will confess and change. Our mission is way too important to accommodate any egos, mine especially. Also, all of our products are guaranteed 100%, no questions asked. Now, your commitment to us. Number 1, post your financial returns on our website or don't make any claims of income. Number 2, be honest and upfront with people. Do not manipulate. Number 3, do not steal from your employer. If you have a job, when you begin this business, do not steal from them. Work hard. Don't make phone calls to support your Rocky Mountain business. Do not check emails to support this business. Do not make photocopies to support this enterprise. If you are successful enough in your own business to retire from your job, I hope it takes 2 people to replace you. Leave with your head held high. Number 4, do not steal from us or from the team. Do not copy any of these videos or brochures or any of the other tools that we've created for you. Now,
I have been honest with you that we offer them to you at a great value and use all the revenues to improve your opportunities for success. And number 5, stay balanced. Do not neglect your family or other commitments while you create your business. Just be sure to work smart as well as work hard. Number 6, no debt. Make your business profitable from day one. Sell beef and make money. Do not leverage your future on what profits you're going to make. Make the money and pay cash. Be a good example. Our second core value is leadership, which is a basic premise of our enterprise, is that we will never ask anyone to do something for us that we will not do ourselves. Our commitment to you. I strive with everything that is within me to lead by example. I challenge you to show me someone who believes enough in the human spirit to risk what we have risked, to have the rare opportunity to earn the privilege of leading an army of people in a cause. We are not only moving meat, we intend to move the world. Every employee in a prominent position in this company and every supplier will be required to be a successful franchise owner so that they are aware of the issues that you face, are in a position to relate to you and represent your interests, not only theirs. And number 3, we are not your boss. You are free to do as you please within the constraints of our values. And number 4, we promised you that we will be teachable and seek counsel. We do not pretend to know everything. We will all grow together. Now, number 5, this is a unique business of the people, by the people, and for the people. We have created a succession plan that if I am unable to lead, the control of the company will be turned over to the franchise owners through the fact that the board of directors will be controlled exclusively by the 15 most successful franchise owners. This will ensure my desire that this corporation continues in its mission to support you, the franchise owner, in your long-term pursuit of excellence. Basically, if I tell you I'm going to be somewhere or do something, and I do not show or give you ample notice, check the obituaries. Now, your commitment to us. Number 1, the only way anybody makes any money is if we sell beef. So, go out and sell some beef. Hence, the 4 units in a month, or 20 in 6, or 40 in 12. Second, do not manage or control your teams. Lead them. They're not in business to help you. You are in business to help them. Number 3, develop skills. Read, study, grow mentally. Develop skills that contribute to the good of your team. Number 4, help people, encourage people, edify people. Number 5, if you have a problem, please talk to us. Do not spread gossip or ill feelings. Number 6, support others, even those who are outside your business group. Number 3 core value of our business is respect of individuals' freedoms and dignities. Now, our commitment to you. 1, we will never discriminate against anyone. I don't care if you're rich, poor, tall, short, skinny, fat, black, pink, red, or purple. All we care is, do you have a dream, and do you have a backbone and a will to chase your dream? Number 2, we will do everything we can to create opportunities for you to tell your story. Use your talents and unique gifts. Now, your commitment to us. Number 1, be absolutely honest with everyone. No surprise attacks. Number 2, do not pressure, manipulate, or beg anyone. If you believe that your success lies in getting cute one-liners or phone scripts to trick, manipulate, or pressure people to work with you, you will fail. Develop courage. A faint heart never won a fair lady. When you present this opportunity to anyone, there are really only 4 conceivable responses that you may get. Number 1, you betcha, let's get going. Now, when you get this response, get excited. Go to work and help that person. Number 2, no thanks. Great. Expect this from people. Perhaps they would like to just purchase beef from you and your business. Number 3, now it is possible that someone may be upset with you, but for 2 different reasons. One of those could be they could be upset with you because you weren't forthright. Good. I heard a funny saying on a movie recently. Sometimes a low self-esteem is just good common sense. That discomfort should encourage you to shoot straight in the future. However, some may ridicule you simply because they are so emotionally bankrupt that they do not have 1 ounce of courage to invest in anything or anyone, and in fact are greatly threatened by anyone who does. Pity that person. Pray for that person. But for God's sakes, do not delegate your hopes and dreams and future opportunities to that person's judgment. To do so would be more than a tragedy. It would indeed be a sin. We're Americans. We don't ask the French for permission to protect ourselves, and we don't ask for anyone's permission to exercise our blood-bought rights to pursue our American dream in the free enterprise system. We respect other people's dignities. However, if they refuse to respect ours, we will aggressively protect it. You just simply have to ask yourself, is that person doing anything to help me or themselves be more successful? Do they have anything that I want in my life?
It's a true fact of life. Courage is a basic ingredient of success. If you don't have it, hit your knees and ask for it, and then associate with people who do, because courageous is contagious. Because in the end, what is the risk? There is such an insignificant financial risk that it is hardly worth considering. There is a time risk, but that's minimal. The real risk is pride. What if I try and fail? What if someone laughs at me? In the end, each will reap the harvest he or she sows. Pride pays very poor dividends. Many people pay too dear a price for pride. Now, our fourth core value of our corporation is we are committed to a win-win or no deal philosophy. We believe that a rising tide raises all ships. As such, we seek to engage in mutually beneficial relationships with our customers, suppliers, franchise owners, and employees. Our sincere belief and desire is that every single person who ever comes in contact with our operations will benefit. We hold that this core value is crucial to our sustainability mission. We also believe that our potential is not limited to competing for a share of the existing market. Our goal is to create a great product and an opportunity for individuals that will generate and grow the market to unprecedented levels, which will benefit all contributors. Now, the challenge is that most people profess that they believe in win-win deals, but in reality have a vision of life that prohibits that truth from ever bearing fruit in their life. Most of us have been conditioned to believe that basically there is a fixed pie of goodies out there. Now, if someone gets a bigger piece, that's a bad deal, because it means by mathematics my piece just got smaller. For after all, are not most of the pyramids we're associated with like that? At work, for example, if the president resigns, how many vice presidents want that one position? How many can get it? Can they all win? See, our firm belief is that the pie is not fixed. By seeking win-win and having a heart of generosity, we believe that everyone's piece grows. That is the very backbone of how this company was founded. Customers win, ranchers win, franchise owners win, our nation wins. See, our commitment to you. We will champion and seek to instill an abundance mentality in our people. We will create sustainable alliances. We will make sure that everyone who touches this company will be blessed. If we have anything to say about it, that is. Now, your commitment to us. Develop an abundance mentality. See, you must purposely fight against your natural view of competition. For example, if you're in Grangeville, Idaho, and the world seems kind of small, don't create hard feelings fighting over customers. Help people believe that your job is to plant good seeds. The harvest will come in due time. Number 2, remember, a rising tide raises all ships. Dream. Create a dream for your life. Now, our 5th core value is teamwork. Our commitment to you. We will develop a clear, concise message that is easy to duplicate. And that is our 2020 vision of success. We will work hard to give you good tools to use to build your business, like this brochure and DVD. And we will listen to your inputs, your ideas, and your concerns. If you have any ideas to improve our tools or message, please pass them along. Now, your commitment to us. First and foremost, do not confuse the basic message. And number 2, be a team player. Invest in yourself and invest in the business. Buy the tools, use the tools. Help us develop better systems and tools. Number 3, focus on what you can control. The 2020 vision of success. That is your goal. That is the message. Number 4, do not spread rumors or ill feeling. What to do now? I got to be honest with you, I really don't have anything more to tell you. As I promised, I showed you as clearly and honestly what the potentials and challenges were facing you if you decided to pursue your dreams. However, if you're still watching this and you're not my mom, I must assume that you must wish to try. You must be intrigued by the fact that this simply makes sense. So now I am switching gears and I will try to give you the courage to get off center and get going. Go to the website today and register for your franchise and order your tools of success. You see, because action defeats fear. Any action creates success, which develops belief, which enhances confidence, which fuels action, and around and around and around you go. On the vice, delay causes fear and failure. Strike now while the iron is hot. Then we will overnight your package with copies of this brochure that you have in front of you. We will provide you with recommendations for getting your business started from our attorneys and accountants. Things like setting up separate business checking accounts and taking care of other details to support your business. But for now, build your dream. What is your reason? If the reason is big enough, you will succeed. If not, you'll probably not. Build a list of people. Don't be God. Remember our core value. Respect their choice. Don't make the decision for them. Simply present them the opportunity. Send them brochures as soon as possible. Your mission is to accomplish the 2020 Vision of Success program. People will follow your example. Remember that the greater number of franchise groups you personally sponsor, exponentially greater your profits will be. Now lead by example. Let the cream rise to the top. Don't pressure anybody. Lead. Now, I'm going to end with a short personal story that you may relate to. I'll tell you now that this is not an earth-shaking event, but it was important to me, and as such, it will give you some insight into the passions I feel about this business and the potential it has to help a lot of people in a significant way. When I was in college, I desperately wanted to be an Air Force fighter pilot, and I worked exceedingly hard to make that dream happen. People who know me will tell you that I somehow found an opportunity to bring it up in conversations a lot more often than was appropriate. For that, I now regret. However, I did receive a lot of flack from others in school who seemed offended that I thought I could do anything like that. Now you got to realize, they spent an enormous amount of time lamenting that they had no goals, visions, or purpose. But they felt self-ordained to attack others like myself who did. At the end of my junior and fall semester, I got a message that made it look very clear that my dream was vanishing. It was just a long, hard road, and the competition was tough. Wouldn't you know that that very night we had a gift exchange in front of all my best friends, and my gift was a bottle of Visine with the inscription, "To cure illusions of grandeur." Well, of course I laughed it off, and I have since heard a saying that rings very true. You know, a subconscious never takes a joke. Now, it's hard to understand why now, but truly, I almost quit that night. You know, the pain was real and it was acute. After all, who was I to try anything like that? I was just a dumb farm kid from Idaho who obviously didn't know my station in life. And I certainly didn't look anything like Tom Cruise. Now, one of the most interesting things happened to me the very next day. A senior cadet who I admired very much said some very encouraging words to me that I certainly never expected. I'm sure he never knew what it meant or remembers it, but it changed my life forever and I remember it. That day he shared with me a saying from Teddy Roosevelt that I promptly had engraved and had it in front and center on every desk that I have ever owned since. You see, I pray that you use your days to lift and encourage others. Most likely you will never even know when that happens. It doesn't matter if you join me in this adventure or take other paths, but please make your life about something bigger than yourself. It will serve others, but most importantly, it will create a sense of purpose in yours. I know mine's a silly small story, but it was a big deal to me. I promise you that you can touch someone in a positive way before the sun sets tonight. Please do not miss your opportunity. Now back to the quote. You thought I got distracted, didn't you? And my promise to wrap this up. This quote is the very lens through which I see life. If it resonates with you, then we're a kindred spirit. I invite you to join me. This will be a fun ride. It is not the critic who counts. It is not the man who points out where the strong man stumbled or the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short time and again, who knows the great enthusiasm, the devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the least knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while doing greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. May God bless you and Godspeed.
To help launch all of our operations, we have decided to create an exciting incentive to reward top producers for your efforts. The 5 franchise owners who obtain the most deposits on beef in each month will be awarded a fully paid, world-class whitewater adventure for 2 with me on the world-famous Middle Fork of the Salmon River. Now that's about a $4,000 value each. That means that there will be 5 winners each month. Now I hope you're one of them. Please refer to our website for the details of this offer. Now let me introduce your upcoming adventure.
I'm Brad Fry, the owner of Adventure Sun Valley, and I'm here to invite you to one of the greatest adventures available in the United States.
Welcome to Adventure Sun Valley. In short, we provide the absolute most luxurious and highly catered wilderness whitewater and fly fishing adventures on what is regarded as the most pristine and secluded alpine river in America, the Middle Fork of the Salmon River. If you are searching for an exciting expedition without compromising safety or pampering, then you've come to the right place. Come join us for a 6-day voyage through the heart of the largest wilderness in the contiguous United States. In 1968, Congress recognized the outstanding, remarkable values of the Middle Fork of the Salmon River and included it in the first batch of rivers to be protected by the Wild and Scenic Rivers Act. Since then, it has been the flagship of the nation's most vigorously protected rivers. It is truly a privilege to experience its wonders firsthand. Many experts describe it as the perfect whitewater river, and it is easy to understand why. As its crystal clear waters flow 100 miles through the 2.2 million acre wilderness, it passes numerous natural hot springs, beautiful campgrounds, and intriguing Indian and pioneer historic sites. What you won't pass is a road or motorboat. The river boasts over 50 rapids that are sure to satisfy the hardiest of adrenaline junkies, without ever passing through any that are officially rated higher than Class 4. It is little wonder that it draws celebrities and dignitaries throughout the world. In fact, one United States president and one vice president have run it in recent years. The Middle Fork is a blue ribbon West Slope cutthroat trout fishery. It is truly a perfect dry fly fishing stream. We're pleased to give fly fishing instruction during the trips, and we bring along several extra fly rods, flies, and tackle that you're welcome to use. Adventure Sun Valley is a small private organization that takes great pride in providing unmatched service while enjoying a spotless safety record. Due to Forest Service regulations of 30 people maximum, we limit our guests for each trip to 23, plus our hand-selected staff of 7 guides. This guide-to-guest ratio enables us to provide you with great flexibility in the types of activities you can choose each day. It also allows us to transport an impressive quantity of the finest gear available. Each day, a very large gear boat will proceed ahead of you to have camp set up and waiting, with the wine chilled and hors d'oeuvres on the table. Additionally, often our guests choose to pay for all 23 seats, but limit their own numbers. Hence, we are afforded the luxury of taking along specialty staff at no extra charge. Breakfast in bed, anyone? Back rub, anyone? If not a masseur, how about a photographer? A cheese and wine expert? A musician? A geology or wildlife speaker? Simply let us know well in advance whatever kind of special staff your party would enjoy, and we'll see what we can do. It's our sincere pleasure to cater your trip to your preferences. Our staff are regularly the highlight of people's trips. They are hand-selected and trained to the highest standards in wilderness whitewater rowing, emergency first aid, and CPR. Our deluxe adventures are not only the most exclusive and pampered imaginable, they're the easiest for you to join. All you need to do is show up with your clothes and relax. We'll take care of everything from there. On the morning of the launch, after enjoying our breakfast, we'll drive you in private air-conditioned motor coaches either to the river put-in or to the airport for the flight into the river. There you will find the guides ready and waiting. Once again, you'll have your choice of which boats to ride. You can choose to ride in one of our custom-designed Middle Fork fishing craft, which are 16-foot inflatable Riken rafts with custom seats and hard-suspended floors that provide the perfect fishing or just relaxing platforms available anywhere. These boats are the absolute best vehicles available. You can either just sit back and relax while the guide does all the work, or indulge in the dry fly fishing, which has made the Middle Fork legendary. If you'd like to be more active, you may choose to crew one of our state-of-the-art paddle cats. These custom boats provide you with the ultimate in maneuverability and exciting fun, but yet the most stable and safe experience possible. You will work with other guests under the command of a guide to navigate the churning whitewater and possibly even surf in a hole or two, much like a hardshell kayak. For the extremely adventurous, you can select either a one-man or two-man inflatable kayak and be the master of your own fate. Of course, we will keep a close eye on you and give you all the assistance needed. You can expect to switch around from different boat types throughout the week. Each day will provide different opportunities. Some will offer soaks in soothing hot springs that bubble out of the ground. Some will be stops at ancient Indian pictographs or early miners' homesteads. There are several very rewarding hikes that vary in effort required. We can talk about the options and design our days around your desires. By the time you get to camp after your day on the river, you won't believe what you'll see. We'll have your tent set up, complete with thick, self-inflating air mattresses with warm sleeping bags, fresh fleece liners, and pillows. 2 hot showers will be ready to soothe your tired muscles. The wine will be chilled and the hors d'oeuvres on their way. There will be comfortable chairs, electric lanterns, and warm conversation. Our meals are wonderful, hearty Western meals that are always enjoyed. Later, the camp will be alit with the campfire and a rousing camaraderie and stories into the evening. Since the Middle Fork of the Salmon River is one of the most protected rivers in the world, there are a limited number of available launch dates. Our trips are often sold out a year or more in advance, so please call us before sending any deposits to ensure the availability of your select dates. We highly encourage you to plan early.
I would personally like to invite you, your friends, and your family to come join us for one of the best rides on earth. We look forward to you joining our extended family of delighted guests.
Hasta la vista. I'll be back.
Oh, it's been raining. Straight